Hey everyone, welcome back to today's episode of YYC Business Speaks. Today we are here with Mireille in Live It Fitness, and she's going to tell us all about what she's up to. Hi Mireille.
Hey, Julia. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. I know we went through some background before we started this recording, but tell me a
Yeah.
bit about your business.
Yeah. So I'm actually a social worker turned fitness professional about 7 years ago now. And basically, why I started in the fitness world is I had my own experience with postpartum anxiety. I have 3 kiddos. When I started becoming a mom, and movement played such a huge role in how I coped. Like it was just a huge piece to like breathing, being in my body, self-care, time for me. It was a huge coping strategy at the time. Then my own past with disordered eating and unhealthy relationship with food and movements, and truly just an unhealthy relationship with self-worth and myself, um, made me, and healing that relationship over time made me want to start my own classes my way. Because when I went to classes, even throughout my, after having had babies, the main messaging was push hard. Nobody knew where I was at. Like it was all big classes. They didn't know I was postpartum. They didn't know where I was at in my recovery, if I was sleep
Mhm.
deprived, how my core was holding up. So there was no focus on form and personalized attention. And that messaging of indeed, like you need to go hard or go home and no pain, no gain. I was like, I want to give this a different narrative. Like I want to be able to be that place for women where they can just show up as they are, like that day, right? Like you can come as you are, show up as you are, and will be encouraged to tune in to what your body needs most that day. Honor where you're at. And yeah, different messaging around the motivation, like goals beyond aesthetics is what I preach. So there's so many other goals that we can focus on besides the aesthetics, because I know it can be a big trigger. My story with my past with disordered eating is unfortunately a very common one. And it can be a huge trigger point in fitness classes, even for women, right? If you struggle to heal that relationship. So that's basically how my business came about. So 7 years ago, I started doing small group training for women.
Wow, that's powerful. Okay, so within
Thank you.
within the context of women, do you have a specific target market in that, or do you do women in general?
Women in general, but it's kind of organically, it has turned into women that either are intimidated by the big gyms, intimidated by exercise in general, new to strength, or that are struggling with injuries, maybe coming back to fitness after pregnancy, maybe first time fitness. I have 60-year-old ladies in my class that have never done strength training before. So yeah, that feel, that small group training format and that approach of welcome, non-judgmental atmosphere, it really jives with them. And that's truly how it organically just has grown over the years. So that would be um, my niche. And I've added over time, like the last 2 years, I've added an online pelvic floor course to the piece.
Mhm.
um, so that is all online and it's a full body approach, so it does involve also strength, it does involve breathing and alignment. And it basically has helped women over the last 2 years turn their symptoms like leakage around. And it all started with me turning my own symptoms around and doing a lot of research around it, and providing that guidance and support with implementation within that course to actually do it, to actually do the work and to reap the benefits of it. So in that niche, it's a lot of menopausal women actually. So it's not necessarily what you might think with pelvic floor, like the new moms that are struggling
Yeah.
after just having had babies. It's more menopausal women and a lot of athletic women that are struggling with not being able to do a jumping jack and peeing their pants. So yeah, in athleticism.
Right. Do you think it's important too for postpartum women to start working on their pelvic floor after having a kid?
Yeah, I so agree. Even before, even throughout
Mhm.
pregnancy, you can do things, and it's not just Kegels, and that's kind of what my approach is. It's a full body approach because Kegels can have a time and place. But if, an example, your alignment or the way you breathe or the way you hold stress is that might offset all the awesome Kegels you're doing, because it can still wreak some havoc on the pelvic floor. It really needs that full body approach. So yeah, but paying attention to all those little things, it can add up over time, because a lot of women actually, they don't have issues right away after birth, but they might start having issues throughout menopause.
Hmm.
So it's truly because, I mean, as our muscle mass declines as we age because of hormones, and that's the same to that pelvic floor muscle. So yeah, being on top of that game, it's just part of, just how we train our shoulders. Yeah, the
Yeah.
pelvic floor is kind of, it's a big piece because it's really integrated to a lot of other things in our body, and it can really go up and down a chain. It's just a little bit overlooked. We don't talk about it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so interesting. So before I was business coach, I was an RN, and
Okay.
specifically in gynae. So
Oh, nice.
I saw a lot of that impact of patients coming in and like pelvic floor strength weak or whatever prolapses and all that stuff,
Yeah.
which to what you're speaking to would be super important to have all those structures in place to make sure those muscles are good and keeping it healthy and all that stuff. That would make a
Yeah.
difference from a cause perspective as opposed to like waiting till something happens and like
Yes.
preventative.
The Band-Aid. No, 100%. I love how you put that because it's true. Preventative is, yeah, it can be a big piece to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that you're talking about that. That's so cool.
Oh, thank you. I love hearing your background with that. Thank you.
Yeah, what's been the greatest impact the pandemic has had on your business?
Um, I would say I had to embrace online training because I was mainly in person, because that power of the small group, that power of, I'm a sucker for form, right? And that community. So I was really hesitant before COVID to take my strength classes online, because my women wanted to just be in person. So, and that's what I realized throughout COVID. I offered Zoom right away when COVID hit. And my ladies that were my in-person clients, they were like, yeah, sorry, it's not the same. I can't do it. And I'm like, makes sense, like 100%. Like, I'm not going to force you to do online.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. That pivot for those people didn't really work. They were like, we'll wait until I can see you again. But on the other hand, I had to get a little bit more open-minded about, there is a time and place for online, because it is a way to keep your momentum up. It is still a way for us to connect. So the few people that did transfer online, they were like, this actually really works. Like, I can still get my sweat in. I can still, keep my momentum, stay strong, and feel that connection, even though it's through freaking Zoom, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's so there were two ways, and it really, yeah, made me get out of my own way a little bit and be like, no, I'm going to embrace online. So I actually jumped on an online teaching platform called Emphy. They just started up, like, it's brand new, still a little bit in the baby phase. They're the people that started this up are Canadians, but they're in Israel currently.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's like it's a global platform. So you can find cooking classes on there, language classes, how to make your cocktails, like photography, fitness, yoga, anything. um, and that's where I started some online classes as well. So that has been a little bit of a pivot to embrace more that online strength training. And I had to just, get over my own stubbornness of, it has to be in person. You can still make it
Yeah.
work live, right? And that's the big thing. It's live classes. And that's, I can still see you. I can still talk to you. We can
Mhm.
still feed off each other, and I can still correct you on form. So yeah, it
Yeah.
changed me to pivot for sure. It forced me to pivot.
Yeah. Cool. So having now doing it online, do you get uh similar results? Are they better online, or like what's the difference in terms of results?
I don't focus necessarily so much on that aesthetic results. So and it depends on what you talk about results. Like, I have an online client personally I've never seen in person. She lives in my community, but she started throughout COVID online, and she prefers online right now. And her results are that she was in an accident so many years ago, and she was really not confident about her capabilities, because of the injuries that she didn't heal yet. And throughout the last 4 months, she's feeling like she's capable, and she has gained strength and mobility. And so, yeah, those results can still happen really well. I was really surprised to see online one-on-ones. I really like them. Like, you can really, you can really still, I can see her. She can ask any questions. And even if I was in person and I can think you're doing it right, like, my favorite question to ask is, where do you feel it most? Because it might look great, but maybe you're not even connecting to the right muscles, right? Maybe you don't know how to get this connection. So it really proved to me that, it's actually powerful to have to use different cues and rely on different ways
Mm,
to get the feedback from the students.
yeah.
So yes, results, I think, the only difference is it's a community. That's the main difference. The community, the energy. And I mean, I have fun toys in my studio, battle ropes and a TRX, and like you're limited maybe with your equipment at home.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And I think some people are probably even more comfortable being at home while they can work out and then having a
Yeah,
trainer by camera, right? And I mean, I asked that
true.
question because I know like there's a lot of people who may still even be hesitant on taking their training or whatever they're doing online, where it's like, no, try it out. Like you probably will get results if you do it right. And
Yeah,
like unless you try it out, you'll never know anyways.
so
So
true.
so that's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, good. It's been
Thank
said
you.
that smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So, what's one or two mistakes you've made along the way that other entrepreneurs can learn from?
Being in my own way, for sure. Mindset is huge, especially in this fitness world, because my angle from the start has been goals beyond aesthetics. I don't sell weight loss. I don't sell, like, I don't post before and after. And that I stuck to that. Like, if you would go to my Instagram profile, you don't see any of that in like the whatever 1,500 posts that are on there.
Yeah.
Um, and that sort of mistake, though, would be to not truly believe in, like, I would have a voice there, but I would still water it down a little bit because of what else was out there that was bigger, and the sex cells and the weight loss cells. And um, so being in my own way of really finding my niche, honoring my own voice and my angle,
Mm,
and just be loud and proud about it. That took me quite a few years to really get there. Um, and that you have to just repeat it over and over and not think like, I said it once and people now know, right?
mm,
Like, so being in my own way in regards to, yeah, finding your niche, finding your voice, that took me quite a little while. I feel like I'm getting there more and more. Like I'm like happy where I'm at right now. Um, Another one, yeah, I think that's related to imposter. But yeah, thinking that there's already so much out there. Who am I? Right?
mm,
Like, why would I be another online fitness? Like, holy frick! Like, there's so much. There's YouTube. There's Beachbody. There's all these amazing subscription models that people, excuse me, can turn to. So why would I be um, another one in that big? So yeah, that is the imposter, and really tuning into like, well, but what's my niche? What's my value? Like, why am I slightly different? Like, what do I have to offer? I have something to offer. So why am I not putting it out there? It's
yeah.
been, yeah, those have been big learning goals, and to attack those, I think that would be, yeah, my biggest advice, to really tune into how you're holding yourself back and the limiting beliefs that are not making you show up as fully as you could.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. So, in terms of mindset, is it the persistence that's made most of the difference, or what's really made the most difference in you shifting from, what am I doing? Who am I? To really being able to own like your skill in this area?
I think, I don't know, I think it comes with really seeing your own value, right? Like, and over time, really honoring that, yeah, well, these are my strengths. And this is what and not even like from an egocentrical point of view, but really thinking like, this is important. This needs to go out, right? Like, it's
Hmm.
not just me, it's like a universal thing that we need to either talk more about. It's like mental health or body image or pelvic floor health, right? All these kind of taboos. It's not really taboos anymore, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah, to honor that piece within me that I know a lot of people can relate to, and that I'm happy to be a voice for, or for them to feel like that they can come to me, or in a safe
Mm.
environment. I don't know, and if that makes sense, but I think it's, yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
really honoring that vulnerability piece, and um, yeah, being okay with sharing that, and with tapping into that there's just a lot of other people that struggle with that too, and it maybe needs more of a voice.
Yeah. Yeah. That totally makes sense. Okay, good. So, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at Live It Fitness YYC. On Facebook also at Live It Fitness YYC. I'm a little bit more active on Instagram. So yeah, that would be the place.
Okay, awesome. And then is there anything you'd like to offer our viewers?
I would love to. Like I have some $15 US gift cards for Mfi, that online teaching platform I was talking about. So for online strength training from the comfort of your own home, live classes. So I can give people, I would be happy to give people a $15 US gift card for that. And my online pelvic floor course, it's a 4-week structured course. I would love to give your viewers a 15% discount. So if they want to follow me on Instagram at Live It Fitness YYC, send me a message that they are here because of your interview, then I would be happy to hand that out.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mireille. That's really
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah, I think that's really something useful to take advantage of and to see if your services might be something that they might be interested in. So for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one last question. Tell me what's most inspiring to you today.
Today, I don't know, and it keeps coming back to, I think that authenticity piece. I know it sounds like this whole interview was about kind of that. Hey, does the social worker background in me come out?
Yeah.
But aligning with core values. Like I noticed that the more I practice that, the harder it is to do anything that's not that. So that is inspiring me. And when I see other women standing in their truth and sharing their authentic selves, and like even being on that journey, right? Because it is a journey.
Yes.
It inspires me, and I think it's contagious, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is a journey.
Yeah,
Like if
I
not
don't
like a
know,
lifelong journey, if anything, right?
100%. I so agree, because even right, like it changes. Even our voice changes over time. So it's like it's not like you find it, you nail it at like 30, and then you're good. No, I think it's lifelong tuning in, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay, this was awesome. So I thought this was an awesome interview. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we end?
No, well, thank you for having me. And yeah, I hope that people are able to take care of themselves, right? Like that whole physical, mental piece. I think we need it more now than ever. And yeah, it sucks if it has to be online sometimes, but if that is as good as it gets, then yeah, I hope, yeah, take good care of yourself.
Yeah. Do what you need to do.
Do what you need to do. Totally.
Awesome. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Julia. Thanks for having me.
Bye.